Mr. Berlingieri.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Very nice session, this last session today. It deals with ships. We all deal with ships in our business, in our profession, so we need ships. Ships are built, are purchased, are chartered, as the title of the session says. Thereafter, ships sail. Ships sail and sail in any jurisdiction of the world, and they call any port of the world. So they meet, and the interest around the ships meet with the surprises of the various jurisdictions in the ports of call. There are, of course, different jurisdictions, different laws, different usages. So I think the CMI, Comité Maritime International, think that it is better to have a certain uniformity in the various laws and usages. And this is the very reason why the CMI was founded in 1897, so all over one century of years ago, with the very purpose of, in his statute, to establish unification of maritime law. How do you establish unification? You establish unification through international instruments like international conventions, which is the most efficient way to establish unification. And through its life, the CMI and the officers of the CMI have always attended in giving its contribution to the various international conventions in maritime law. One of the most recent one is, as we know, the Rotterdam Rules. Of course, conventions need to be ratified in order to become effective. The Rotterdam Rules were opened for signature in Rotterdam in 2009, the 23rd of November of 2009. Rotterdam Rules because the ceremony of signature was in Rotterdam. I must confess you a secret. The Italian Maritime Law Association and the Chamber of Commerce in Genoa had in mind to organize the ceremony of signature in Genoa in order to try to have the rules named Genoa Rules, but they moved late and they made with the various ministries, and so they lost this chance, this opportunity. In any event, in Rotterdam, the rules were signed by 16 countries, with 9 countries signing the rules subsequently. However, a convention needs to be ratified. And for the time being, only 3 countries have ratified the rules: Spain, Togo, and Congo. However, they need 20 ratifications. So their entry into force is not predictable. There are some European countries like Norway, Poland, which are very much interested in the ratification of the rules. However, everybody looks at the United States because if the United States will ratify, they will move the process of ratification possibly all around the world. There are certain states in Africa, the monetary and economic community of Central Africa, which has implemented the rules in their Code of Merchant Marine like a model law, as it did happen for the 1999 Arrest Convention, which was implemented as model law by quite a number of countries. There is an attempt by the CMI in order to speed up the circulation, the approval and the implementation of the rules, because we are sitting on a system, the Hague-Visby and the Rotterdam rules, which is over 100 years old. So there is really need of modernization on the law regarding the carriage of goods by sea. So there is this attempt by the CMI to have the rules incorporated in the contract of carriage of goods by sea by way of a paramount clause. However, this requires the support of the international group, of course. And therefore, there should be the cooperation of the international group and of the International Chamber of Shipping. We must say, and we must acknowledge that the international group and the P&I clubs are not that much keen for the time being to see the Rotterdam rules in force. So I said that there is a need of ratification for a convention in order for its entry into force. Now we have a newborn baby convention for a time, baby, just born. This is the Convention on Judicial Sale of Ships and its recognition. This convention was approved by the CMI, by the Assembly of the CMI, the 17th of June of this year in Hamburg. And it deals with, as I said, recognition of judicial sale in jurisdiction outside the jurisdiction where the judicial sale takes place. There is another convention dealing with judicial sale of ships. That is the 1993 Convention on Maritime Liens and Mortgages. So you may say, why a need of another convention on judicial sales? Well, the convention, the 1993 Convention on Maritime Liens and Mortgages deals with judicial sale in its Article 11 and 12, but deals also with liens and mortgages, as it did, as the previous convention of 1926. However, the issue of maritime liens and mortgages is a delicate issue. And so every country and every law may have different views or perspectives. Civil law countries have certain ideas and common law countries have other ideas. This is the reason why the 1993 Convention on Maritime Liens and Mortgages had not that much success, because it has not been ratified by the major maritime countries. So the CMI had the idea of an entirely new convention dedicated just to judicial sale. A convention on this topic is necessary because the successful bidder, as you know, is to obtain the recognition of his title in any jurisdiction, and furthermore, he should be entitled to obtain the cancellation of the ship he has purchased from the register where the ship was registered before the sale, if the buyer is willing to register the ship in another register. And very often this is a difficult exercise. So this convention deals very deeply and in very much details with its 10 articles with judicial sale and with all these various aspects. So I conclude, thank you. And there is no conflict between this new convention and the 1993 Convention on Maritime Deeds and Mortgages. I prepared a paper making a comparison between the two conventions. I delivered the paper to Francesco, so you might be interested in having a look to the two conventions and considering the comparison between the two conventions. You are, of course, most welcome. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Berlingieri.